We are in the midst of the international break, and whilst we are still away from Celtic returning, it doesn't stop news around Parkhead. In today's video, as always, we will discuss all the latest Celtic news from the last 24 hours, which includes a club set to agree a deal after Rodgers' green light. But first, make sure you hit that like button, and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Celtic midfielder Matt OReilly grabbed a do-over assist in his side's 6-0 thumping of Aberdeen on Sunday. Post-match, the Danish international spoke about Europe. OReilly thinks the boys are at a level to compete in the Champions League despite prior results. He said, "We showed that at home against Atletico for the majority of the game that we were able to go toe-to-toe with them. I don't think you should ever lose a game 6-0, but at the same time I think we are more than capable of playing at that level. We've got 2 games left and we've still got a chance, so we'll give it our all. It will be difficult for the Hoops, but there is still the possibility that they will qualify for Europe after Christmas. They simply need to win their last 2 group games and hope results go their way elsewhere." At least in the mind of OReilly, the Scottish champions are capable of picking up the results in the final 2 Group E games. He has promised that the boys will give it everything, and that is all the supporters can really ask for. Celtic manager Brendan Rodgers has acknowledged the possibility of a new long-term contract for defender Liam Scales in recognition of his remarkable form this season. Scales, who has emerged from the periphery to become a key part of the Celtic squad, has been on an impressive run, starting the last 15 consecutive games for the team. This consistency and high level of play have not only solidified his position at Celtic, but also earned him a senior debut for the Republic of Ireland. His significant contributions have made him a candidate for a contract extension, a move Rodgers seems keen on. Scales joined Celtic from Shamrock Rovers in August 2021 and signed a 4-year deal. The Celtic manager expressed discomfort with players nearing the end of their contracts, suggesting a proactive approach to Scales' situation. Rodgers emphasised the importance of consistency and the focus for Scales, indicating that his continued high-level performances have made a strong case for a contract renewal. He said, "It doesn't sit with me so well when players are going down to the final stages of their contracts. I think you only need to look at the fact that I've chosen him to play very consistently in games. There are also players back now fit that are still pushing him, but he's still performing to a higher level. As I said to him, it's about keeping consistency, keep showing that you can be consistent and stay focused, but there's no doubt that he stepped up and done really well." Scott Bain's contract situation is also one that's confused many Celtic fans since May of 2023. The goalkeeper, who has been a steadfast part of the Celtic squad for several years, often playing understudy to the first choice goalkeeper, is caught on a web of unconfirmed reports and silence from official channels. Bain, who has stepped up when called upon, was reported by reliable journalist Stephen McGowan to have penned a new deal with the Hoops at the end of last season. This agreement was set to extend his stay at Celtic Park until 2026, a 3-year extension beyond the expiry of his then contract in 2024. However, this purported new contract has not been acknowledged by Celtic on social media. Adding to the intrigue, the respective football database, Transfer Market, still lists Bain's contract as ending after the current season. However, the club have quietly confirmed the new contract on their website on Scott Bain's player page. They confirmed that the keeper has indeed signed the new deal at the club in May, keeping him until the Hoops until 2026. David Turnbull came off the bench to impress again for Celtic at home to Aberdeen on Sunday, but you can't say he's any closer to becoming a firm fixture in Brendan Rodgers' starting 11. Turnbull has just made 7 starts from the 18 Celtic matches so far this season. Despite that, he has managed to power himself onto 6 goals for the campaign, which is the second highest tally at the club behind Kyogo. 3 of those goals have come in the last 4 matches, and all of them have been strikes from outside the box, including in the 6-0 rout of the Dons. He's lethal when given a sight of goal and can be a potent weapon to punish deep-line defences. But what does he have to do to take the next step at Celtic to truly impress Rodgers and finally shake free from the fringes of the starting side? David Turnbull was told he needs to show more athleticism at Celtic from BBC Sports Scene pundit Michael Stewart. The midfield's talent is not in doubt, but he wants to see more from the physical side of Turnbull's game. He said on the programme this week, "I think he's an absolutely wonderful talent. His striking ability is probably second to none, but when you look at the Celtic midfield, you look at the athleticism and the dynamism they've got in the middle of the park. That's probably the one thing that David Turnbull's game hasn't got. The game when he starts can sometimes sort of drift past him for chunks. If you're playing in the Celtic midfield, yes, he's got a great end product and can score wonderful goals, but the general build of the game, he's got to be involved a little bit more if he's going to cement himself in that position. He's got the ability, I just wonder if the athleticism is something he's lacking." Turnbull's contract expires at the end of this season, and while Rodgers has indicated that a deal has been offered to him, and that he wants the Scotland international to stay, there's no real sign it will be extended at this stage. He could well look to seek more regular starting opportunities elsewhere. The ball is in his court on the contract front, but if he truly wants a prominent future at Celtic, he needs to step up to the physical demands of what the manager wants from his midfield, especially against the more difficult opposition sides. Hajime Moriyasu, the head coach of Japan's national football team, has expressed his disappointment over the absence of Celtic players Kyogo and Maeda from the upcoming World Cup qualifiers. Both players had to withdraw due to injuries sustained while playing for their club. Maeda was injured following a red card incident in Celtic's Champions League match against Atletico Madrid. Shortly afterwards, Kyogo also had to withdraw from the national squad after an injury resulting from a challenge in a game against Aberdeen. Their fellow countryman Hatate is also out with a long-term injury. Moriyasu highlighted the disappointment felt by the players themselves, emphasising the importance of their full recovery and return to form at Celtic. He said, "It's a shame to miss them both, but the players are the ones who are most disappointed. First of all, the most important thing is that both recover fully and return to being productive at their club. I think they are players who have the strong will and power to do that. I am proud of the depth of our squad though, with so many players to choose from, and the performance and presence they've shown both overseas and domestically. Looking ahead, Japan's next fixtures following the World Cup qualifiers is a friendly against Thailand on New Year's Day, a game for which the Celtic players are not expected to be called up for. Japan then embarks on their Asian Cup campaign in Qatar, facing Vietnam, Iraq and Indonesia in their group stage. The games will take place between the 14th and 24th of January. Should Japan get out of their group, which they likely will, the games will run into February. Matt O'Reilly has been Celtic's standout performer this season and has now been called up to the Danish national team for 2 squads in a row. There are many clubs from down south keeping an eye on the talent, who recently signed a new long-term contract with the Hoops. Fabrizio Romano reported a month or so ago that it would take a Scottish transfer record fee for Celtic to sell the Dane in his current form. During Celtic's match on Sunday, O'Reilly was keen for the side to grab a few more goals while they sat 3-0 up. Matt O'Reilly revealed a chat with James Forrest, who was brought on with about 10 minutes of the 90 to go. He said, "Having that strength and depth to come on and really push the fitness levels, it is hard for teams to live with. I said to James as soon as I saw the stoppage time board, we have 10 minutes here, we are going to get more chances, and we did." The winger missed a golden opportunity himself, but 3 goals in added time saw Celtic run out 6-0 winners with a convincing performance. It's now the international break, and while some Celtic stars will be heading out to represent their countries, others will be getting a little rest before preparing for the jam-packed festive period. Celtic fans, what are your thoughts on Liam Scales getting a new deal? Let me know down in the comment section below. That brings us to the end of today's video, guys. Make sure you drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Remember, we have released our brand new Celtic t-shirts. We have our Brendan Rodgers Pope t-shirt and our Celtic Ultra t-shirts too. You can find them at celticapparel.com or just go down to the link in the description. Thank you, take care, bye bye.